for our second series. TNC Predator into the Mercedes-Benz Arena for the first time on the main stage, and they find themselves in the upper bracket after a good, solid group stage performance from them, backed by a man who is a TI winner. That's right, their coach, no less, is a TI winner. If anyone can help them calm down and deliver, it is the man Heen. They've got the ability. We've known that for years, but now have they finally got the strategy? We're going to find out as they go head-to-head with a team who have been in imperious form throughout the season. It is VICI. The 2017-18 was an unprecedented year for VICI Gaming. The team with the silver badge had 7 second places, but this year things have changed. The silver has changed to gold as they claim major championships. They come into TI as probably the best informed team in the world here on Chinese soil to have a shot at the Aegis. They are VICI Gaming, and they go head-to-head with TNC. Gents, I feel like this is the perfect matchup in many ways for excitement. As Dendy's already said, it's that TNC, that kind of SEA, run-at-you, fast-paced kind of Dota, backed by a guy who's got TI winning credentials and strategy cap as well, against VICI, who've probably been the best team.
Oh, absolutely. I think VICI Gaming, they are my favorites for this tournament. Even after their group stage, I'm hoping that they solidify things a little bit more going into the playoffs. TNC, though, something special about that team, man. They always seem to make those underdog matches work for them. They always seem to perform best when they are the ones being doubted, or perhaps in this case, hated.
Yeah, I mean, Dendy, that's the point, isn't it? Whenever you looked at the lower brackets in other TIs and you saw TNC or Fnatic or Messi, you're like, oh no, I don't want to play them. They're horrible. I don't like playing those kind of teams in the lower because they're dangerous. Now they're in the upper bracket. Can they be as dangerous?
They are super dangerous. Actually, about C Dota, I said it's active, but TNC, where they have one of the slowest games at the tournament, I think, by stats, which is weird for C Dota, yes. But still, they're doing really well in upper bracket, and they were like top 4 on last major. They're doing an amazing job, and I'm sure we're a really strong contender here. I'm not, for me, also, VICI is super strong team, yep. But I see that, you know, it's going to be pretty even game.
What's it like playing with a really good coach behind you? Because you've had some really good coaches in the past. They've got Heen behind them. He's been there. He's done it. He knows how to win a TI. That must be really good for them.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he added a lot of some experience and insights and stuff like this.
Calm them down a little bit.
Discipline.
Discipline. That's a good word. Yeah, very good word. I mean, it makes a difference though, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I also like, you know, people are always talking about TNC now and they're mentioning Heen a lot, but I really have to give a lot of credit to the 2 supports because I feel like they do get left behind in the dust a lot because they have these flashy players. They have Armel, they have Cuckoo, they have these young rising stars and everything like that. But AU, this guy, as soon as he joined this team, I feel like they completely switched. He's been such a mental player. He works so well around the map. Same thing with Tim's. We saw that unbelievable performance from him during the group stages. So
fantastic.
You can never look over their supports as well as that. So
and his story is amazing, right? Like I actually did not know because his birthday isn't online, but apparently he's 27. Like one of the easily one of the oldest players coming out of the Southeast Asian region. But add on to top of that, right? He approached TNC not to be a player, not to be their coach,
just to help
but to be their analyst.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this guy's good. let's make him our coach. And then from there, they're like, let's make him our captain. Let's have him play on our team. And I think he's doing fantastic work. It's just another one of those stories,
There's
right?
still hope for you, Cap.
Absolutely. That's why I'm so fired up right now, because maybe I can go back, baby. But no, it's like, it reminded me of the Seb story, you know? From,
very similar.
you know, washed up player, just a smart guy about Dota, but can't really click the buttons, and goes into the game and shows that he can actually bring his team to victories.
Let's turn our attention to VICI. I've said they're the best team of the year. This half of the season, if you like, if we're talking 18, 19, since January, they've been the best team.
There's like a lot of things to talk about with VICI, right? I think you could hear the roar from the crowd when Yang gets announced, of course. Like you look around, people are wearing Yang hats and everything too. He's super popular. Talked to a lot of the pro players, and some of them are saying, this guy might be the best player in the world at the moment, stuff like that. I also want to focus, I also do like to focus on supports, but DY is actually my most improved player of the entire year across
you
any
think
team.
back to the start of the season.
He was, I mean, we used to,
It was
not like
horrible.
Like me and Trent would be watching, and he would die.
Exactly.
All the
Let's
games.
just be absolutely plainly honest about it, because I think we can be. He was horrible at the start of the season.
His 5 position went from pretty much being like one of the worst, if not the worst, to being like top 2 of 5 positions right now in the international. So he is definitely one of the most improved players for me.
What about it? Ori's improvement as well, right? Like, though you have 2 players on that team that have just done tremendous things over the last year. For Ori, I would say it's more like a year and a half, 2 years. But that's like just a really impressive story, and it goes to show that maybe some of the mentality that Ori and Paparazzi have as kind of the core elements of the team, they bring something different, right? This is a team that I see yelling at each other nonstop, but they've never, for the season, they've stayed true to what their roster is, and they've had great performances. So maybe something about that works.
Yeah, Dedi Paparazzi, he's been around for a long time now. He's such a great 1v1 player.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Huge player in China, obviously very popular here as well.
He can play mid, he can play carry.
Right.
He's a perfect teammate.
Yeah. And now he's got great teammates around him, though. Finally. He's in a team where he's not maybe... Like Yang's taken a lot of popularity right here in China. And Ori, obviously, very big out here. So now he's surrounded by great players.
You should give credit to everyone, because when I watch VICI games, I'm amazed every time. There's always a lot to learn about them. We move as a unit, we work as a unit, we do things together in perfect fashion. It's just an amazing team.
And they're less boring than they were. I want to be honest about this. They weren't my favourite team 12 months ago. They were a bit... I use the word methodical.
Paul doesn't like when people control the map.
No, it's not that at all. It's just, it's like, move in. Let's go in, guys. Oh, we've got a tower, back off. Oh, we've got one racks, back off. We've got the other racks, back off. Get a shrine. Like, come on, finish the game. And they were a bit... They were too methodical, right? But they seem to have... They've taken the best bits of that, added some aggression, added some fire, and now they're a great team to watch.
Wouldn't you want to be like that too if you made a mistake and you go back to the room and you're like, oh God, ROTK, what's he gonna do to me? Oh no! So come on, you got to understand their discipline.
That's true. Yeah, if you got ROTK back there, I don't want to mess up at all.
Yeah, and to think about it, right? Maybe that's exactly because you now have players as opposed to last year where you just had Paparazzi and Ori. Now you've got like somebody like Yang who is just as willing to yell back, right? And I think that kind of aggression that he has in his personality can translate through to the game.
What's that like, Dendi, playing in a team? Because I always imagine you're a passionate man, you're emotional, but have you had teammates that yell at you and you just feel like, shut up?
It depends. Always different teams, but maybe if I would play with ROTK, or ROTK would be my coach, he would probably give me yelling lessons.
Yes.
And when I would yell at people all the time.
And then we'd have angry Dendi.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't imagine that.
I can't imagine. No, that's not possible.
It's very good when you're angry at enemies. Of course, it's...
Of course, yeah. But what about in team, though? How do you cope if someone's really loud in a team?
I think...
Is it okay?
You can be loud, but then you should still stay friendly and friends, and no one should take it personal or anything like that. Then it's okay. Yeah.
Has that happened to you, though? Have you been in a team where, someone's really loud and you just want them to not be loud anymore?
Well, we can go loud. Of course, it happened many times, but when we would be happy loud,
Okay.
Scream something not so good, but in a happy way.
Okay.
I remember watching TI1. I remember watching Navi. and just yelling at their opponents. That was actually such that was like the first big like psychological play.
It was so much fun. We had like mirror right in front of us, an enemy right in front of us.
You guys got the kill, and you guys would all stand up, and then you would sit down real quick.
We would hit table, we would shake everything up.
You were banging the table because it vibrated in the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we do a kill, we hit table.
Denny and the boys were the first OG. They were the first chat wheelers.
Yeah.
Before it existed.
Yeah, before chat wheelers even had. What do you spam now? What do you spam?
What do you spam now? Резать.
I learned what it means now.
Cut, or slash.
Oh, okay.
It's when Sven coming up with big gun, ultimated.
He taught me that one the other day.
Did he?
Yeah, we were spamming a couple of times. He's like, do you know what that means? And I'm like, oh, well, now I do.
Perfect.
It's a good one.
You learn something every day in Dota.
You do?
As well as life. You learn in Dota as well. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit. Which way do you think this goes?
VICI Gaming.
Yeah?
I have no problem jumping into the spot. I think TNC is going to be a strong lower bracket team. I have them going a bit farther through that lower bracket, but VICI Gaming, for here, I think they're just too big of a beast. Again, the biggest problem for me is the fact that TNC, like some of the breaks that I saw, some of the mistakes that they made in the group stage, I'm concerned that's going to continue in the playoffs when things are just, there's even more pressure on them.
That's the problem, Dendy, isn't it? Inconsistency for TNC, because they were a bit up and down in the group stage. And when they look good, they look amazing.
In group stage, we actually took at least one game from every team except Mineski, which probably know them really well.
SCA.
Yeah.
SCA derbies, they always end up weird.
But for me, I don't know. Those are really, really close games. I expected it to be like 50-50, but the edge would be on VICI side just because we're crowd favorites, and obviously a lot of cheering will be.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in this room. Obviously, all VICI biased, I'm sure.
I'd have to also, though.
I'm going to ask it slightly different to you. What did TNC have to do in this series in order to overcome VICI?
I think the one thing is that if they have like a certain strategy hasn't really been revealed too much for themselves, that's probably one of the best ones, because I think the TNC is going to do a lot of homework. They have Heen. He's going to come back and he's going to be like, all right, let's bring out the book. Let's see what VICI's done throughout the whole year at each thing. So I think you have to bring something new to the table, because I do think the TNC some of the times they have been a little bit. It's weird calling TNC a little bit predictable, but with their drafts, you can understand what they're looking for and what they're trying to do. So I feel like they have to bring something extra to the table, at least in that essence, versus Heen.
Okay.
And when it comes to play inside the game, I think a lot of that is going to come around the Tims, which is where some of the slower elements that Denny was talking about, right? These 4 positions that they bring out, like the Earthshaker and Enigma, these like really big team fighters that can beat them, that can beat VICI Gaming in the late game. Like he's going to have to come through clutch, because I think there's going to be a large chance of VICI Gaming take control of first 20.
Okay, so that's what they've got. Dendy, great.
Or Spirit. Those are the 3 that I'm looking for.
I was going to actually talk about Mirana a little bit. It's quite a bit of support Mirana now.
Yeah,
last game
this hero actually have really high win rate at this tournament. Yeah, it's doing really well. It's randomly came here after last small meta patch, and here it is. We see a lot of Mirana, and it's very successful.
Yeah.
I think it's like the 4th most picked with like 60% win rate or something. Yeah. It's like crazy that any hero that could be that popular also hold that kind of win rate.
It's flexible, right? I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen is like when you open it, it's like you can still run it mid, you can still run it even like I didn't feel like I don't think I saw a carry one, but we saw mid and we saw 4 position at least picked up.
Yeah. And I think Moon is whenever you see Moon playing, you're thinking, oh, well, Mirana might come out in this particular game because he's so good on it. So, yeah, it can be a bit of a flex pick, I guess. VICI, on the other hand, what have they got to be careful about in this game? What would they not do for TNC?
I think the biggest thing is making sure that they win their lanes against TNC. Making sure, for example, that if they sacrifice Cuckoo, really shut down Cuckoo's game. Right? Especially if they give him like the Cuckoo Bat Rider that he's so good with. Like make sure he doesn't actually have the game punish the fact that they're sacrificing a little bit and trying to secure their safe lane more. I've seen TNC do that a couple times and somehow Cuckoo walks away like he's half the time he's solo, but he still walks away like he's been dual laning the entire time. He walks away with that kind of farm. So make sure he doesn't have a good game.
Cuckoo's the one he's definitely the one I'm concerned about that I think Vici's going to address. Before when I was saying, I messed up saying it before I was saying that Heen was going to do homework. None of you guys corrected me. I was waiting for you guys to make fun of me, but I meant ROTK. It's okay.
It's fine. We've got your back, buddy.
I caught myself after I said it all, but yeah, I think that's the one that I'm worried about is that Cuckoo, I think I've only really been seeing him play like his Sand King and his Bat Rider. Yeah. So yeah, he needs to find some more variety.
Couple more in there. Dendy, what do they have to be careful of?
I don't know. I think we should just play their own game and
not worry about TNC at all?
Not worry about anything but their own game. Just focus on what we want to do and keep going.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much, gents. That's it from our panel, but we need to bring in some experts. So let's head over to our expert panel for the draft.
VICI Gaming versus TNC Predator. Game 1.
I thought we were bringing in some experts, but Gunnar, I hear you got stomped in an in-house. What's going on here, man?
You know, Fogged, he tried his best and he ruined my game. Nothing you can do. I was also against a TI winner, Dendy.
True.
I'm not a TI winner.
But you two are playing in the same region now. Grant, this man exported himself out of North America. Did you disavow him?
I did not. Gun Daddy here. He's still cool. He's repping us over there, and I appreciate that. Especially, TNC on the line. We'll get the inside scoop now.
Yeah. You got the C region info.
A spy. Is
yes,
that what you're saying?
Indeed.
Okay. Deep cover Gunner. I like it. We're here. It's the second series now of the main event.
Already.
Quick. And it was a fast first game as well. Virtus Pro just looked completely lost. And what a way for LGD to solidify the Chinese crowd behind them, getting a rapier. Now it's up to VICI Gaming to see if they can follow up a performance like that.
Yeah, and I think it should be a pretty good series. I'm surprised the panel actually took VICI Gaming right there, but pretty convincingly. I thought TNC actually looked reasonably well in the group stage, and they talked about it on the panel, as see the draft, that it's these heroes, these team fighters, they have the longest games in some of the tournaments, and that's because these Earthshakers and Enigmas they're picking, they don't mind scaling into the late game with heroes like that, and I think we'll see a lot here.
Yeah, a lot of the team focuses around Tim's, I think, in the early game to mid game. He picks these, like they said, Earthshaker and Earth Spirit.
Yeah.
He's always gets these Blink Daggers and these big initiations, so I'm looking for TNC to draft some big hero for him.
Yeah, and I like the Chen ban. AU, he has been he's one of the few people keep challenging him. They're like, you know what? Let's give him the Chen. And then all of a sudden you gave him a Chen. Maybe you give him an Alchemist, and you're like, oh, what have we done? So
yeah, it spirals out of control quickly whenever you give these teams their comfort heroes. And also when you give teams heroes that have just been very irritating. Enchantress has been one of the most hated heroes in pubs. Yes. How do you kill this hero? But I guess maybe it's magic damage, Gunner?
Yeah, so Enchantress is really not good because she has a lot of healing in the early game with her Nature's Attendance.
Correct.
So when you pick an AA, you stop her healing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of heroes like Juggernaut or Lifestealer with built-in magic immunity are really good at piercing through or untouchable. So maybe they pick something like Juggernaut here if they want to pick their carry early. That hero's kind of weaker, I think. Gyro is another hero that's good against her. His Rocket Barrage goes through untouchable in the early game.
Yep. Sand King, kind of the same thing. It's all magic damage. You stun in, you Sandstorm, you cast an ultimate, you got to just blow her up right there. And I like two of the bans on the side of TNC. I was going to bring them up. It's Ogre as well as the Tide Hunter. And those heroes, just VICI Gaming, they will always take it. They're one of the few who's only really running it in the 3 position, and just get rid of it. That hero is such a nuisance.
Yeah, we saw the Tide Hunter bring LGD great success in Game 1. Clearly, it's a regional favorite, but we're seeing a lot of different stuff coming out. Magnus being picked up now by VICI Gaming.
A lot of the Chinese teams like Magnus more than the other regions. I think LGD picks it a lot for FY. They play a little slower than the other regions, I think, but they get the slowness helps them with the Empower. Their carry always is going to be top of the net worth. It gives them team fights in the mid and the late game, so I like it. It also lets them contest TNC. If Tim's goes a more greedy hero like Earthshaker as a 4, the Magnus is also going to get a blink, and his carry is going to get farm. So
I'm curious, because don't they usually play Yang on the mag? They're one of the few teams who really likes playing it on the 3. And you have an Enchant, I'll be honest, I love both these heroes as a 3 way more than, say, Enchant as a 5 or the mag as a 4. But I'm curious, because Enchant, she's a lane stomper. You know what she's going to do. Meanwhile, Magnus is a little bit different. Maybe you get a skewer on the tower, but you're just trying to survive. So if they do play it as a 4, here you go. You're the buff bot.
Trying to survive and then, just trying to get levels. So what is going to be the pairing for this Magnus. You want to find someone to empower. You want to make sure you enable your carry to accelerate very quickly, which is why VICI Gaming ban out the Alchemist. They want to make sure that no other carry can keep the pace of a hero that has empower.
Yeah.
A nice thing about this Magnus pick and the Enchantress is that Enchantress can solo her lane really early on.
Okay.
And a lot of teams like to run Magnus in a tri-lane.
Assuming that it's going to be
Assuming that it's a 3 Enchantress and a 4 Magnus.
Which I hope it is.
Yeah, the Magnus can get early boots. He can skewer into tower with another stun from the 5. So a tri-lane with Magnus is a lot stronger than doing dual lanes, I think. So it's kind of a really nice combo that they already have.
Yeah. You're already scared though, right? You have an enchant and a mag, and then you look on the other side. You just have this AoE burst damage, like just in 2 heroes is AA. So you definitely need someone survivable again. I mean, how do you feel about Jug this tournament?
Jug's been a really weak hero. They've nerfed, I think, really small. The past couple, like 3-4 patches, they removed his early game agility. They removed 5 movement speed, I think. They removed 10 or 15 damage from each level of blade mail per second.
How are you going to talk bad about one of Hector's favorite carries? It's Wraith King and Juggernaut all day, every day, and he's been cleaning up on those 2 heroes.
It is, and I feel you do need, honestly, a hero like that, like Jug, obviously, with the spin, the magic immunity, and then Wraith King, right? You commit onto him, at least you have a full nother life. It's so hard to take a hero like that down, and maybe they will on VICI look to do a hero like that.
They actually ban out their own Sven, which was a potential for VICI Gaming. Again, you're looking for combinations with this Magnus and power to speed up and accelerate the farm of a carry.
I could see a hero like Troll Warlord right now.
Okay.
For the side of VICI Gaming, it matches well with the Magnus, and as well, you don't die in ult to the AA blast.
Right. If you're in battle trance, you won't shatter.
Yeah, so it's a little like Shallow Grave. It gives you an extra, little
bit of time.
Yeah.
You never know. Just survive, get a kill. I mean, we saw Ortiz rampage with just 1 extra second. Like, honestly, something like that against an AA is that important. And I'm really surprised they ban out those 2 heroes. It says to me, is you brought up Tsunami, Alk and Sven both are 2 of those heroes that do speed the game up quicker, and obviously they don't want that. You want this mag, empower, and do your own thing. Oh, a Tiny.
Tiny's been one of TNC Predator's favorite heroes of the group stage, and overall just a really solid hero that we've seen any team pick. It's just, I see an immense amount of magic burst damage. I would be terrified if I'm this Enchantress right now.
The Tiny Axe is really good against Ench in the mid game as well. You don't get attack speed slowed, a lot of physical. Ench does have low armor, but you can't hit her normally. But having the ability to do physical damage without having to hit her is really good, I think.
So if this was like a team secret draft on the side of TNC, I would have no idea which hero is playing well. We could see like mid AA, we could see 3-position Sand King. Based on TNC, which way are you leaning towards the AA Sand King and Tiny being played?
I think AA 5, Tiny 4, Sand King 3.
Okay.
They don't play mid Tiny, do they?
I don't believe they do. I mean, it was like Mineski, right? Moon's like the biggest one, but I don't think TNC really plays that much.
I know OG plays it. Thompson played mid Tiny, I think, once or twice in the group stage.
Do you know what they played it against? Sorry, I'm trying to think like if it's just like a matchup kind of thing, or
I think Thompson likes it here. I believe he's like gold rank too, so he plays it.
He's like, just give me it. I just want to burst. I want to set that record. I want to get a lot of kills. Man. And I was curious, what do you think about that DP last ban? Why do you ban a DP against a team who has mag? Like, does that say anything about what you're going to pick for middle?
It could kind of push the Tiny more towards mid, because since he has really high health, the DP can siphon him in the mid game and kind of control him. But I think it's more for the Lifestealer.
Okay.
DP matches really well against Lifestealer all stages of the game. Late game, at 25, you'll get a haste talent, so Lifestealer can never catch you. But even before that, the spirits go through rage. You can kind of kite the Lifestealer, make a fight a little slower, get through rage, silence him, and kind of burst him.
And even beyond pushing Tiny towards or out of mid, you also need push on towers. Death Prophet would have been a great hero, because VICI Gaming kind of lacking in the ability to take structures right now, because TNC Predator have amazing wave clear. How are you going to ever make your way to a tower and actually start dealing damage to it?
And even just like the group up factor, right? Like if you look, cool, they have a mag, reverse polarity's fun, but then you have a Witch Doctor and Enchant. It's not like, yo, we're ready to just go and team fight you.
But they'll be able to heal, right?
They will.
Wait.
There's
an Ancient Apparition on the other side. What are you going to do?
Why did they take that Witch Doctor? I'm thinking now. Obviously, they enjoy the hero, a nice multi-stun. If they do like a tri-lane, Witch Doctor level 1 is pretty good.
True.
And there it is, the Jug. Okay. I think you had to do it versus the A, and you have the Empower, and you're going to be able to ramp up extremely quick.
Yeah, they banned I think Sven could have been a good pick if they didn't ban it.
Yeah.
It matches fairly well against the Lifestealer, and that's one of the few heroes right now that wants to go BKB early and is melee. A lot of the ones are like Gyrocopter goes BKB early this patch, but they need a melee hero for this Empower. So I like the Jug.
Just a hero that's going to have to be very, very careful about how he uses that spell immunity. Both carries have that sort of option.
That's what Tiny does, right? Tiny just makes you, it really does. Once he gets that blink dagger, it just makes you think, like, is he behind me? Where is he at? You always have to know where he is on the map.
I got a question, Gunnar. Why do you think that the Shadowblade Tiny build died out so heavily? Is it because this Aghanims has kind of taken precedence, or just Blink Dagger's too good? Because Tiny's a hero that's been competitive for an extremely long time, so many builds, and right now we're seeing like a very, very pop-in, do a bunch of damage, very flashy Tinys.
Shadowblade in general has gotten a lot less popular. A lot of teams are playing a lot more fast, a lot more together. And the Shadowblade playstyle was like the Slark's Shadowblade playstyle, where he would Shadowblade in, he'd find this Crystal Maiden, kill a Crystal Maiden, and then walk away as well.
The assassins.
Yeah, so a lot of Dota, there's no more assassins. The assassins are more in a team fight. You jump the backline. You don't find a solo hero anymore. That's kind of a lot of teams have improved, I think, over the past couple years. So I think Shadowblade kind of, as well, people are playing more detection, more dusks, even gems for no invis to just deward.
That's true.
So
yeah, I was just surprised that whenever Sentry Wars got limited, I thought that, oh, maybe this makes invis heroes a little bit better, but it doesn't seem to be the case. And especially since TNC have a Lifestealer on their team, you want to make as many Blink vehicles as possible, be it either the Sand King or the Tiny.
They banned Kunkka. That gives them, it's more team fight. I think they're banning a lot of team fight right now.
I mean, they need it. Like, they need somebody to group up. Someone who can, like, rotate now. None of these heroes rotate. Enchantress wants to sit in the lane. Mag wants to empower the Jug. Witch Doctor, I mean, it's a Witch Doctor. Like, you're going to be lucky to get boots at 5 minutes kind of thing. They need someone who can move around the map, and Kunkka's the best one from the mid line.
I really like the last 3 bans from TNC. The Kunkka, Death Prophet, Ember, all of them match really well with the Magnus, and then it gives them this early game team fight. All 3 of them. So I think TNC has really nice bans against VICI.
I'm just baffled at the VICI picks. They've picked 3 heroes who really like to heal.
Yeah.
Juggernaut with the healing ward, Witch Doctor, and Enchantress, and now they're going to wrap it up with what is most likely a mid Lina for VICI Gaming.
I like it. I mean, you should be able to dominate lane. Obviously, TNC has the last pick. We'll see what they want to take, but you have someone who can move around. You have someone who can actually burst down. Maybe the lifesteal, you hit a stun from Fog, you get the Laguna off. You do have the ability to now kill that lifestealer, which is nice.
I could see them.
You're tanky.
Yeah, I could see TNC picking a 4 here and putting Tiny mid.
Okay.
It matches up well against the Lina. You have a lot of HP, so her nukes don't do a high percentage of your health, and you can kill her the whole mid game. Once you get your blink, she dies. She doesn't get HP that much. I think they could pick Rubik. I think could be a decent hero, and maybe Earthshaker. Both of them are unbanned. Tim's really likes those type of playmakers in the mid and late game.
Is there a way Alina just destroys like a Tiny in the laning phase? Like, you get the stun, you get a couple of the creeps, and you just out harass him, or no? Eventually Tiny will just catch up.
Yeah, because I would assume that Lina having such high range and Tiny having to go back to get a tree every 5 seconds would make it pretty Lina favored. But
a lot of the time you get boots really early on Tiny, even some mid start boots as a mid laner, which is kind of unheard of for other heroes. They get into range, they just toss combo. The Lina will lose like 60% of her health. A combo for Tiny from the Lina, he'll lose like 15, 20, 30, maybe max, and he can just salve up.
That's it.
It's more like the mid game, I think. A lot of VICI Gaming's heroes are squishy, and if he goes mid, I think this Ags build, this Blink Echo Ags,
so fun,
is really nice.
Yeah. And it is the Queen of Pain.
They're going to go traditional. It's Queen of Pain versus Lina in the mid lane. Really curious to see how this one's going to shape up, but I'm going to give it to someone who will know a little bit better. It's the Banana, it's the Slamma, it's the Jamma, it's BSJ.
This game, I think we have a classic hold the fort for VICI. They have Empower, and the only problem I have with an Empower lineup is if you lose too many objectives so that you don't have enough space on the map to farm. But I feel like they have a lot of kill potential and burst on TNC, but they don't have the best tower
and cast.
It's almost, go back to the old Magnus was like, I blink instantly RP and
it takes a while to get those items out. It's going to be tricky, I think, for him to get these things done in the game. And when you look at TSC's lineup, it's the other way around. They have Tiny, who's probably going to get a dagger. He is position 4, so also a bit slower, but Sand King is a great catch. The Infest into Queen of Pain that can potentially jump the back lines. get killed. But same, lightly playing on a timer, not too good at taking towers.
Yeah, that's TNC always plays like. You got to have them be aggressive. This is what it is. Just run forward. We have our combinations for kills. Timing as well doesn't also seem to be limited. Like, the panel was talking about, run. You want to get up in the face of your game. If you want to try and restrict this area, the VG needs to farm up, needs to be able to control to make the most of that in power.
There's some... Okay, we're good. All right.
System is just on cooldown for the moment.
Go. So yeah, as far as TNC's game goes, because of the nature of how their lineup works with being very kill hungry and having a lot of stuns and fighting potential in team fights, and VICI being a little more lacking in that department, a lot of the time games like these get very decided in the first 10 minutes, because if the team that has all this cash and all this aggressive potential gets rolling and the other team can't fight back, sometimes the game they just run out of steam really quickly. VICI Gaming, we had a game with that with their mag where it started losing map control. On the other hand, if VICI Gaming's laning goes well, TNC can't punish as hard as they want, and then all of a sudden you have a free farming Magnus or a Jugger with Empower, which you have to deal with. So
yeah, so they can't let them have that space. They've got to really try and control VG Gaming. The first battle for the runes is going to be, well, probably not that much of a fight. Tims isn't really going to have a battle against VG Gaming on the bottom lane, and there will be the contest by Cuckoo, as well as AU, which Paparazzi will have nothing to do with. So again, it's just that one floater around the runes, but is it going to be a straight 2-2 trade?
No.
So we actually get tri-lane versus tri-lane for the moment. This is how everything always starts. How long do you actually hold this? Like, if you're VG Gaming, like how far do you pull the Magnus back?
I think they're just not... I'm not sure they're getting what they want here.
Well, they're blocking the way for the Radiant side, and they're letting theirs go.
Yeah, that's pretty standard nowadays, because what will happen now is this wave will push at the bottom lane. It will push into Enchantress, and she can play control on her side of the lane. But TNC, I think, did the right thing here. You put the Sand King bottom, you get the supports to just stay top and give Lifestealer a good start, and then eventually you can start making some moves. TNC already moving around. And Sand King is one of the better heroes at dealing with these aggressive tri-lanes, because you can hide in the Sandstorm, can buy this Quelling Blade right now, put down a sentry when they sentry. If you eat their sentry, they can't kill you. And I think there's only one sentry in play here for VICI Gaming, only one on DY, as Magnus is already left and is going top to help Yang.
Yeah.
After the switcheroo.
They both were holding it, but you're right, it's moved off the bottom lane. Still wait for the time for it. Tims and Darmel trying to play against Ori. Normally it's meant to be a little aggressive early on, especially with the Tims Tiny. Always looking for the right opportunity to attack. Same time, Gabby. Here's the thing about a Lifestealer. You've got so much sustain in your own lane up on that top, so you're going to be okay. Especially with the help from Ancient Apparition right behind you.
The lane gets tricky for Lifestealer when Enchantress hits 6. If she hits it early, and Lifestealer doesn't have total free farm. But the free farm aspect is probably in play. It's an Ench Magnus lane. It's very weak. Ench is strong by herself. Magnus doesn't really contribute very much, but he needs to get experience somewhere.
Tims, he's trying to kill off DY. That's not going to work though, but almost did.
Cute. Try.
It's like the worst creeps as well that you can be thrown into, the Ancient Prowlers.
Yeah. But yeah, Lifestealer will be okay happy up here. I think the challenge for VICI Gaming in their safe lane is to get Yang 6 as soon as possible without giving Fade no game on the mag. So in a minute, he will pull this camp, more than likely. And if Ench can get 6 in the meantime while he's doing this, they will end up winning this lane, which has a Magnus in it. If you win your Magnus lane, you're generally very, very happy with that. Doesn't even have to be a huge one. Even a draw most of the time when you have the support mag is a great outcome.
Talking about winning the lanes, the one you were talking about before is like SK can hide inside the Sandstorm and farm on bottom lane. Hasn't had to use the Sentry and Quelling Blade, and hasn't even really got that much CS. It's 5-0 against the 15-4 of Paparazzi. Expecting Paparazzi to have a pretty good game. Like, Juggernaut hasn't really been the most popular of heroes, but Paparazzi, I don't think there's been a single game where you've said he's performed poorly. And he's going to make this Juggernaut work, especially in the early.
Yeah, I used to have when I think back 1 year, I used to consider Paparazzi one of the more unstable carries in his previous competition. The team would sometimes overextend, would make reckless decisions, get killed too much for a carry. I think he has improved a lot lately and really bumped himself to the top of the list of the best carries in the world. Just mainly, it's not really his mechanics that have improved that much, it's his decision making. Just understands the map better, knows the limits of his heroes better, and it's showing in their results this year.
I feel like also like on both of these teams, there's supports that make space for a lot of these cores too. Like DY's been having a great time, but here comes your toss tips going to work very early on. Paralyzing Cast make it difficult to move forward. The Avalanche buying space, combining with the Virus Strike. This will be first blood going the way of Gabby. Paparazzi, there's no real way he can intimidate to get off his support.
That's great news for Gabby to get the kill. 300 gold, it's the same as 6.5 creeps. Now you're going to have the swap going around, so Sand King will still stay bottom for now, looking to pull, and I guess he's waiting to see what VICI Gaming's rotations are. Now that Enchantress has TP'd bottom, might want to swap something around again. That looks to be the case. Gabby is now starting to run across the map while Sand King stays bottom to face the Enchantress.
He's going to go forwards. Shadow Strike out, or Light Strike away from Ori, connects Farm Nell. That regeneration route, he's got all the mana and the health to find this one, even the help coming in from AU. Might get more. Sims has got tossed back. Magnus arrived to go for a quick skewer, grabbing two with the paralyzing cast. Sims as well as AU have to separate themselves up, but look at Armel. Blinks underneath the tower, kills off Fate, copping a hell of a lot of damage, but they've got three heroes here. TNC as one. They push underneath the tower. TP supports coming in. Maybe now it's a little too deep from Tim's.
As one, they beat the tiny in the trees. Didn't get the toss that he wanted there on the Witch Doctor. A melee creep came in the way, so Tim's could not get the target that he wanted. But at the very least, they were diving with the chat wheel active, so looking to be in good spirits.
It's what you want to see if you're a TNC fan, right? Like they're getting in there, they're fighting hard. It may not always make total sense, but that's how you topple one of the strongest teams in the tournament.
I like the mindset though, that they're just trying to put the pressure, right? They're even though that was an overextension, the idea of playing this hard aggression and just keeping on cycling your cooldowns to get bonus kills, I think is a good approach. You don't want to just sit back and chill. And they've made some good laning adjustments by ensuring that the Sand King is playing against Enchantress, so Lifestealer has a better time. But Lifestealer against Jugger lane's completely fine. They're both going to farm. If Jugger gets some kill potential with a spin, you just rage it off, and you're completely, absolutely safe and sound, so no problem there. VICI Gaming, however, are still the ones with the early lead. They've just got the better gold out of their lanes overall.
Ari's being attacked, so will Elgato. He's going to run straight past him, looking for the primary kill onto the Lina. Toss him up, throw him down. Okay.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Confirmed dead.
Confirmed.
And we did this with the Siege Creep alive too. They might want to keep us alive, but they can't do it. There's no additional creeps, no glyph, and this will not turn into tower damage. Something to keep in mind, as we've talked about, this team doesn't have the best pushing potential, so you really need to play around those catapults. And the gank timing was good, but the wave was dead.
We're going to go again.
Lina nuked it out.
Wait, hang on. It's a sentry ward down. Tim's is... he's playing because he thinks he has the advantage with the extra information, but Fade's here. DY will start with the Maldic, skewer over into Ori, combining with the Laguna Blade. Tim's, man, I know he wants information. I know he feels confident, but that Maldic pop is going to finish him off.
And yeah, he wants to get in here. He wants to get information in the enemy jungle because obviously you're playing against the Magnus and Power lineup. They're going to be stacking camps for the Jugger to farm later. And while Jugger is farming and playing defensively in the jungle, the Enchantress can just play super aggressively in lanes because she's so hard to kill. And that's a nice balance in this lineup, is the pressure that can come from that hero as well as the Lina pushing out waves to keep TNC having to go back and defend. Covering up, giving them that space.
Here they go again with the Observer and Sentry. They're making sure Ori can't see it coming right up the hill. They'll block TNC into the mid. Paralyzing cast can make this a little bit more problematic. Ori, he's getting a lot of damage out. Hey, Yu's going to go down. Ori will still fall for this course, but Yang's had time to TP over. TPing out one more into the top. Being damage. And Armel, just not enough time on that TP to get away to safety.
Yeah, they were super ready to help out there. Might see a bit of a change up from Ori in this game. Maybe getting a little tankier in his build would be super useful. They seem to be targeting him really hard. Maybe getting one bracer or a rainbow, anything that can give him just that little extra time for them to connect, and this could go even better.
He's already had 3 deaths of the 5 kills the TNC has claimed. So
they're targeting him really hard, but guess what that means? That just means the Enchantress and Juggernaut have great games. And now that Gabby's playing against Ench, you see the problem. He's getting zoned out, won't be able to farm here, and he's going to leave this lane. It's not feasible for him to stay up here. And of course, you have him power lineup. Sure, you target out one core, but you're not even targeting the guy who's going to, carry the game, which should more than likely be the Juggernaut with Empower. So the upside, of course, is the guy that they are targeting is the primary playmaker. And if you stifle Luna a bit, VICI Gaming will be playing more defensively, but so far it's okay. They're getting what they need.
Yeah, TNC need to add more pressure. But that perfect timing yet. The Infest from Gabby just being used for farming and lane presence for the moment. And Cuckoo doesn't have that delivery system with a Blink Dagger. Looks like they're going to give him top lane. But it really does feel like SK needs to get a lot more out of this game before TNC can be properly enabled, even with Tim's toss.
Both of the items he has and Sand King are super good this game. I suppose you will get the dagger first, but I still think you get hell after that. It's incredible for your whole team. The insane amounts of magic damage to get amplified by it. Gonna get dusted.
However, Burrow strikes the other side. He'll be away.
Okay, minus 90 gold. There's nobody there to help. That kill is just flat out not happening from Yang. Be a bit of a fear factor going forward.
Cuckoo feels fine enough to spy out the bottle as well. Walk through, back up to full health and decent mana. Good timing for it as well as the 10-minute bounty runes are about to spawn. TNC's looking to fight around the bottom, but Radiant scan up on the hill. It does ping, so they're already a little bit concerned. Witch Doctor throws out the cast. Won't bounce to anyone but Juggernaut. Ready to fight. Needs some damage with Maldic already being committed. Ancient Apparitions back. Relative safety, but with 3 seconds of the runes. Sentry down. Witch Doctor getting really caught out by the avalanche. Maybe with the heal, no, it's still not going to be enough. But VICI Gaming, they want to fight. Shockwave connects onto the Infest. Tiny, where are you going? Yeah, you've got someone else inside of you. Gabby will pop out. Paparazzi's already got the kill on Tim's. Well, up on top, Cuckoo keeping Yang away from the runes, but because he fire striked in, no escape. Sandstorm was just caught down. And Yang, well, he already had dust anyway, so big kills from VICI Gaming happening on both sides of the map.
And it's Siege Creep Wave. They're pushing out bottom. Enchantress is starting a push up top as well, has 2 waves. And that catapult, so bottom tower definitely going down. Mid tower, see Fade immediately walking over here to try and defend it. Will more than likely be absolutely successful this.
Troubled, why? Nah. He's already killed him.
He's dead. That's really high levels on Tiny. Level 7 now, minute 10. That's great for him.
He's been involved in all of the kills. All 7. 2 kills, 5 assists.
Course on VICI Gaming are happy. Talked about this is the early game, the early stage of the game.
Skewer underneath the tier 2 tower in mid. Fade. Sonic Wave pushes him back. The Shadow Strike was going to kill him, but uphill. Really trying to push the issue. Ori will arrive, but it's all a little too late.
Another extra kill going the way of TNC onto Fade, but where's the tower damage? Are you limiting the VICI Gaming lineup from getting what they want accomplished? They got the bottom tower, they're almost getting the top tower, and this is the farming side that's doing the pushing, right? This is the lineup that you expected would maybe be a little bit slower, and they're still the first ones to get a tower and almost get the second one. Very good news for VICI Gaming.
They're trying to go up for Enchantress. The Ice Blast is coming in. They just have to hold him there, and they're able to do so. Yang.
Nice execution.
Felt really good about pushing the tower as well, but the Midas took out the catapult, and then the push power came a little too slow, and still by himself. Just in case you needed to raise the spirit.
Yep.
So VG, like, you've still done heavy damage to the tier 1 tower up on top. You've taken the bottom tier 1 tower as well. Is this that point where you're actually happy to let the tier 1 tower go? Instead of TPing in?
This is pretty dangerous.
Oh, here comes your avalanche already. DY, open wounds dump, can't move away. Paralyzing cast, making it difficult for TNC to instantly disengage. Paparazzi has the Omni Slash available. Here comes your Ice Blast, however. Yang and Paparazzi both getting chilled to the bone. And they need more help to arrive. Fade's thinking about making his own play. He's going to skewer himself away. He wanted to skewer into the RP if they really want to have the fight. But maybe now Ori can find an exiting hero. With a strike array, they control Cuckoo. He'll Burrow Strike away, but because he's been dusted up more attack, he went down to 18 HP. The Shockwave, it pulls him back down to 29. They still need one more. The Flame will reach from afar. Ori! Channel channels the power of the dragon.
Really nice.
Right at the Sand King.
Super good spell casting. They hit so many things right on the edge. The shockwave was great. The Dragon Slave in the end, just barely clipping. Get the impetus off as well before he gets down. Super nice from VICI Gaming. And I thought they were going to lose this tower and maybe a couple kills, but they end up holding it barely, and they are the ones rewarded with a tower kill. They get this on the Jugger. He's now far ahead of the curve.
He's right in front of 3 heroes.
And, yep. But he's not walking.
All right.
Maybe old Paparazzi would have farmed that camp. But new Paparazzi.
They were hoping for the Ice Blast just flew straight over the top of them.
Version 2.0 does not make that mistake anymore.
That's the kind of clean, sharp play. That's the reason why a lot of people were backing VICI Gaming coming into this TI.
Yep.
Even over teams like LGD. So Fade's getting his time to farm up inside the jungle. There's so much space in the jungles. DY earning all the fantasy points by stacking every single possible camp he can.
You love that, don't you? And your team today?
Of course I do. Of course I do. Like, you're 14 minutes into the game and he's got 13 fantasy points. That's how fast DY moves.
He also has a haste now, so
yeah.
Also
that was the intended visual hunt.
Oh, I didn't know you were looking at that. I'm looking at my own stuff.
I'm looking at everything, man. I see all. Gabby take the tier 1 tower up on top. Actually, missed the last hit on it, but still be a tier 1 tower dropping. The mid tier 1 tower is being chipped away. Fade will finally come out and defend that. But VICI Gaming starting to have some damage done to their map control. Losing the tier 1 tower as well as mid. This is really going to start to feel a restriction and an opportunity for TNC to at least gain some vision. If you get those orbs down, see where VICI is moving.
I thought VICI were not going to fight the top tower, but defend everything else, or try to defend everything else in the game. But showing that they already want to defend the top tower, I think they're willing to fight for every tower on the map. The question is, are TNC? They're getting a bit surprised here and may have to pump the glyph.
Ice Blast came out here. Supports arrive as well. The Ice Blast into the back line. Still kicked over only on Fade. Kuko and Armel TP'd into the side trees with Tims. So VG is fine with this. Still give me a 2-2 rune trade. Yang still building up, and if TNC want to fight, VG are more than ready. Level 2 Omni Slash. The Manta Style is freshly done over on Paparazzi. With the Yule Scepter, knows he's able to control or potentially escape. The only thing they're really missing from this fight is kind of Fade's Blink Dagger. Then it feels a lot better for VG. Then there's that initiation you were talking about.
And they don't have to brute force this tower, but what they're accomplishing by going there is they're forcing TNC to react, and that means they're not making their own moves. So it's the good old saying, right? Sometimes a good offense is the best defense. Is that how it goes?
Yeah, so
sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah, other way around.
No, but it was the same thing said, just in the other order. But anyway, you get what I mean. You play aggressive, and in return, you end up defending your mid lane. Because every time they make the move first and TNC react, it's a win as long as they're farming too. So stretch that as far as you can, right? You know you're not playing the highest stun teamfight lineup, but if you can get skirmishes going, like TNC move after you, it's good news.
TNC still have more time to wait before they can fight. We actually thought the Cuckoo might go to the Blink Dagger, but we went Veil and now is going into the Blink. So it still feels like it needs both items. Almost the downside about VICI Gaming. Yeah, you could farm up inside your own jungle, but because these tier 1 towers have been taken out, there's some safer areas for TNC to farm on bottom lane. Because VICI don't want to keep pressuring this. In fact, VICI, they're looking for their own kind of movement. TNC is smoked up looking for something on bottom lane. No one's going to contest that. Once again, VICI arrive at the tier 1 tower at mid.
Did you notice TNC's movement there? They started making their own move toward bottom. VG started pushing it toward mid, and they had to cycle back in again.
Ice Blast, no! Forster pushes Yang out, saving himself. And now the Ancient Apparition trapped underneath the Juggernaut. Sand King is dying at the back line. It's to the Maldek. I think it's actually going to end up popping it off camera. Yep, that's what happens. Your Scepter is just to catch us. Armel can't move any. And with the Omni Flash, TNC are playing stuck in the mud, and no one wants to run through their legs.
Perfect fight from them. If Yang could have somehow not been clipped by the Ice Blast, that's the ideal fight. But they still got that on, so they get the 1 kill. But again, TNC trying to move bottom, VICI immediately pressure mid, TNC cross back, and then they lose that fight and the tower. And it doesn't look like much with a 2k gold lead, but this kind of lineup hits this point of critical mass when Jugger becomes a monster. He is so far ahead already, 2,000 gold ahead of Lifestealer. And if you keep letting this guy farm up, give him an Aegis, He's an excellent high-ground sieger too.
And he's always got so many damn stacks. And we're actually seeing this moment again. So the RP, while the Omni Slash was still going, just gives Paparazzi that triple kill. It's like, yep, okay. Nice.
Nice spot.
Yeah, looking for Fade. Avalanche, toss combination. This is what TNC wanted. Even though the Blink Dagger gets bought by Fade, he won't lose any money, but they need to be aggressive. And now Lifestealer caught out. He'll rage up quickly. Just wants to run out, but he cannot make it to the creep. Deathward able to continue to reach out, not to mention all the Ori pop. That's the first reveal of the Shadow Blade too. He only just got this.
Yeah, this is not that common of a Lina build nowadays, but immediately put to use for a great kill. It's a good way for them to catch the Queen of Pain as well, and another escape tool. So, yeah, it seems like every time TNC, even a little bit going. It's like, yay, we got this mag kill. Oh, we lost our carry. So the trade-off once again against them. Now it's a 3k gold lead for Juggernaut. Well, what do you know? They gain another 1,000 in 1 minute because of the kill on the Lifestealer.
And he's almost finished his Skadi. Like, we're 20 minutes in. He's got enough to pick up the ultimate orb, just needs the money for the point booster now. Ice Blast is flying again. This one will be short. If it did connect, Sims was there ready to go, but he'll deward the sentry instead. Just pressure being applied on all sides. Cuckoo's trying to keep him out of the bottom. He also now has the Blink as well as Veil. Got to bring in this team fight from TNC. And if it's just not a team fight, at least a pickoff.
It's starting to feel a little bit tricky right now. I think they're going to wait for the Lifestealer returns. That's a timing that they want to try to find a team fight.
They have other items, though, which let them fight. Like, obviously, Ancient Apparition would enable Timps, as long as they have a setup and he can go for range with the Ice Blast. But the Orchid build over on Queen of Pain, this comes around the 20-minute mark. Is there enough momentum in TNC to actually justify an Orchid pickup?
It's just not very good, this game, is it? Like, Juggernaut has Manta Style, he can remove it. Delina has Shadow Blade and Bugles, she can remove it. And the Enchantress is Force Staff, so if she gets Orchid, she can reposition herself. There's just very limited plays with this item. I think, sure, maybe you can get the Magnus or you can get the Witch Doctor, but it's not the way you want to start the fight going on the Witch Doctor. So it's a bit tricky for TNC, honestly. Like, when this Radiance comes out, let's see what they're going to do, because it's one thing to have the tools to fight with. Will you find the fight too? You can't just go to a tower and be like, hey, Vici, come at us. We're stronger than you, come fight us, because your tower push is atrocious. It's pretty bad. Like, Lifestealer needs maybe a Desolator who truly starts hitting these towers, and he can't realistically commit rage to do tower damage, because then he exposes himself to getting killed off afterwards.
He's not going Desolator yet. The Radiance just got completed in Armless next to the quick fire.
I mean, wouldn't go Deso second item anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just,
just meaning it's like, it's that time you now have to wait.
This time right now is when TNC's strategy is meant to be ahead and destroying the opponent, and it missed. Just didn't happen. So now you're back on recovery mode, plan B.
VICI's ready to fight. They smoke up. 4 heroes together. Should also flag BT on Ori, so he's going up to the top lane to push it out, but it's Fade going to look for the jump in towards mid. Tim's hiding in the triple line with VICI Gaming. Just move a little bit to the side. Tims reveals himself, quick blink away.
Broke the smoke on Mag, but didn't see him.
Okay, extra TP coming in from Kuku. Arriving under the Shrine, 4-man smoke from TNC. Probably feeling like they have an opportunity. They definitely do. Blink, Fire Strike, combining with the Ice Blast. Enchantress very much down. The full stuff. He'll dodge the Ice Blast, but the Solid Wave has to come in, put him down. Tims catches D1 in the back phase. And that's what TNC won. A chaotic split from VICI Gaming. None the person that VICI wanted to fight.
Yep, they couldn't RP there. And the easiest heroes caught off. The Enchantress dies very quickly if she gets hit by all this magic burst. See what he is quick by. He wants a cloak, just any resistance that he can get right now. Try to stay alive. So it's good kill, but still tower damage. The waves don't go, they're going to be forced back.
VICI's going to fight the back of the tower again. It's a double damage. Murray actually gave his bottle over to Juggernaut, so they're able to bottle this ED for as long as they can.
Oh, from Cook. Oh.
He realized he was underneath the sentry. But this battle for vision's definitely kicking in now. D1 already the sentry puts an observe war. Information around Roshan begins. Can the team really get to the pit though? Like, can they actually take Roshan without? It feels like sort of an answer to who is first to start it.
If you're going there as VICI, you're kind of risking a lot. Because if an Ice Blast flies on top of you, you're setting up the Sand King to jump in, you could suddenly see multiple heroes in the pit. And if you're TNC and you go in there, well, you have another problem. You can't kill the Spirit Fed, so...
Let's see how much damage Ari has got. Tim's actually able to get the avalanche off. Moves into the tree line, needs 2 seconds, 1 second. Got attack, just tosses Tim's away. Needs some more time. Dodging, no he can't. Here comes the rest of the support. Paparazzi, Yang, they've arrived and Tim's will die in the trees. But there's still a 5-man commitment for VICI Gaming coming to the bottom lane to kill for support.
Yeah, they're gonna leave Jugger down here to put the tower, and then I reckon they might rotate the Enchantress up once her TP is ready to try to make a fight top as well. Jugger has his ready.
Yeah, look how fast Ori has moved over. Gets stumped with a blade. RP comes out. You are going nowhere, Armel. They just used every stun available, and the Life Stealer, who is just around the corner, still just like, I cannot help.
He can't. The guy was looking for the help when they jump in is the Sand King, but he was showing in mid, so it made it very easy for VICI Gaming to make the decision to go. As soon as you see, this is something we've talked about on previous casts in this TI as well, is the problem you have when you're playing without save is you have to be extra aware of what heroes you're showing there, because you can't buy the time. If your guy gets jumped when you're splitting in multiple lanes, there's nobody who's going to protect this Queen of Pain and keep her from dying. Sand King is your best bet, but he's mid.
That Observer Ward, they're trying to use it again to get the initiation off. There's still 30 seconds before the runes are up, but they see that double damage Juggernaut, and they're definitely thinking twice, but there's no RP. And now the jump comes in, a Bar Strike being used defensively from Kuku, really running scared here, TNC. Like, if this was TNC with confidence, they would have just instantly gone. That's a double Burrow Strike into possible FE into, like, glory.
I don't know if it's that easy.
If
they're all there,
if
and they
TNC, you're flat up for it.
If they're all there and they hit all spells, maybe. But you've got to be super wary with. If you're committing on Jugger and you don't kill him, he's going to turn around and kill 2 heroes with Omni Slash. Like that's the kind of Juggernaut game this is right now. He's just so far ahead of everybody else, and they know it too. It's very obvious in the game that Paparazzi is way ahead of the curve. And TNC, I agree with you. They should be trying to find that TNC let's go spirit, but there's always 2 teams in the game, and if other team doesn't present an easy opportunity, it's easier said than done. VICI Gaming are not giving them many openings to take a fight.
TNC, be a close eye on Roshan, because that's the opportunity that they're really hoping for. VICI feel confident they can move inside the pit, and it gives TNC that clustered team fight that they need to force VG into. That ain't happening for the moment. Paparazzi just continues to farm up. Butterfly is rapidly approaching. Ari's having the same type of thing KP has done.
That's huge this game.
Oh, he's going to steal the Arcane Rune from right in front of a Cuckoo. Yule Scepter up. Ari's going to hit the Lion Strike Array, but a strike does get Cuckoo into a relatively safe position.
VICI Gaming just keep gaining on the map. They keep split pushing, they keep farming with their Empower. They'll constantly nuke out the mid wave with the Lina. Top lane, doesn't really matter. There's nothing up there right now. Tims will still go there because it's the best play he has on the map is to push this and hope to force a reaction that can ultimately set them up for some sort of skirmish or fight. But again, the pushing threat is not very serious. And therefore VICI Gaming are totally fine with just clearing out the map every 30 seconds, get whatever they want, and play for bounty runes. But right now, they're choosing to smoke. They're seeing an opportunity. Lina's not here. She's showing top, and that's what's kind of setting up their play. TNC false feeling of safety here.
They just de-water the ults and the sentry, but Avalanche tossed with the Ice Blast. This would be a kill. It's over on DY, but it's DY. He'll buy back. He's a support. That's not what they wanted, but you'll take what you can get.
I honestly think trading his life away for D-Ward is worth it. He's worth less than a ward in this situation, because as long as TNC are playing in the dark, the moves that they need to make are exceptionally difficult to execute. And VICI Gaming can constantly just play around this Roshan area to pose this threat of killing the Rosh or of invading their jungle. The smoke from VICI Gaming, obviously that instance did not work out, so that's a bit of a minor win for TNC, but no progression being made as to what will end up winning them this game. There's only one type of play really left that will win them the game, and that's that big team fight where they get the jump. The skirmishes don't really exist anymore, and maybe you can get one pickup here or there, maybe get a Witch Doctor, maybe get an Enchantress. It doesn't cut it. You gotta aim bigger.
Because there's no sustained damage. going through the butterfly, it's going to be difficult. So jump in, magical burst, just off whoever you can. Back up, reset, go again. But eventually, they'll need to have an answer to Paparazzi. They'll need to have an answer to this insane level of farm that he's managed to achieve.
There's the butterfly purchased. He's going to go top, start pushing out, get him power.
28 minutes in.
He has 60 armor. He's nice armored by what? Inch creep. Okay.
Inch creep?
Where's that inch creep?
I don't know. Like, I guess must be the other side.
He lost it. He's been taking mini creeps as a wolf right now.
Cuckoo under the cover of smoke. Yang, and that feels like bait. Cuckoo blinks up, fire strikes. Here comes your ice blast coming in with the force up. Orange is pushed away. So is Bait, but he will start up, so no RP available for him. And maybe with Tim's control in the back line, GY can't do enough to really stop him. Here comes Gabby once again, looking for his time with the Omni Slash. The damage is ridiculously good. Tim has been pushed away. He does have the Life Stealer inside of him, but definitely he'll fall from the ground with the impetus. It does a lot of damage. He has to hide in the pit. 2, 1. Now Blink away to safety.
The illusion
taking
runes.
Gabby with him.
We're so close to getting one swing in. If they get a hit on the Tiny, they both die. Huge for TNC to get out of that mess. They still didn't really win the exchange, but at the very least, it wasn't a complete disaster.
Vortex is giving some information. Tim's just had to toss his tree in, but with the Vortex, Tim's, you can see him. He knows he's got an observer and sentry around the side, but wait, he didn't realize there was a dire observer. He'll try and dodge the stunts, throws out the avalanche. Here comes your ice blast as well. If you're going to fight inside the pit, Tim's the only one hit by that, and that's an ally. Gabby, how can he get away? 3 seconds till Infest up the hill, continues to raid, continues to toggle, and he does have the distance. Or time to hit the dragon. That'll be a little bit more of Tim's. He's in it once again. Another huge avalanche. But where's the follow-up? Yang, Paparazzi, Ori, they're still up on the high ground. A double burrow strike from Cuckoo is buying space for Tim's. He's just hiding inside the trees. Stay away from him, Yang. No, not gonna happen. Trees are not safety. Tiny will buy back once again to try and see why he's trapped down. Gabby able to get back-to-back kills. Tim's, who does he want? He's still realizing there's just vision absolutely everywhere. But now Armel jumps in once more. Looking for a target. Won't happen.
So patient outside. He's just waiting on the low ground for TNC to make any missteps so he can blink RP with that empowered jugger.
Back to Roshan. SK prepping the epi, blinks forward, hits the burst drop over towards Lena. He's under his own sentry one, so he feels okay inside this sandstorm, but still both the abilities from Ori able to connect. Fade looking for the skewer, blindly attempting to drag him away, but it won't happen.
Still overall a net game for VICI Gaming in the last 2 minutes with tons of fighting. They're still the ones coming out on top. TNC using buybacks on both the AA as well as the Tiny. And keep in mind, VICI Gaming took these fights without using RP. So it can get worse than that very quickly. You've got to be super mindful of your positioning.
But that's also props to see for their positioning. Here we go again. Roshan, Tim's not realizing the dire observe was on top of the hill, but great 4-star, getting some distance. But they were definitely looking for the fight on Roshan. That's why that AA blast ended up in the pit, not out the front of it. Don't know how you can actually highlight that entire thing, because it kept going on for a good minute and a bit.
Very long, but...
The set of Fast Dealers watching Roshan. This observer and tree actually down from the Radiant, just north of the pit. That's actually what gave Tiny his confidence to do what he did, but now it's going to get de-watered out. We've got a Gem of True Sun over on Ori. No more hiding. Ice Blast coming in. DY, 4-star, tries to just push him out. Not killed up the RP. It does catch a Gabby. He breaks up the Sonic Wave. And here's Tramel. He blinks in with a script. Cuckoo needs some distance. Barrow coming up down. Now he'll die through the middle of the Barrow. And TNC have been fighting in to VICI Gaming and eventually had to bite him in the butt. Once fought for 2 cores, 3 cores.
It feels so hard to play Queen of Pain in this situation. You want to blend in, you want to cast your spells, but you're just exposing yourself to jump off. Oh,
back out again. Take the paralyzing. Where do you think you're going? A bucket strike! Huge from Cuckoo! Combining with Gabby! He actually gets him guess! And also the iPhone Paparazzi! It doesn't clip him! He's just fast enough, but it's not fast enough to run away from Gabby! He's just gonna stay right on the back of that one and move to the next target! Enchantress just above Roshan! Ori's trying to force Gabby away inside the jungle and down the hill! Another Yule Scepter! Up he goes! Life Strike from Bob! What happened? Rage is there to protect Gabby! TNC are on the retreat. Now it's TNC who forced the buybacks out from VG, Jugger, Mag, and Witch Doctor all committing them.
That That was huge from them. This combination is massively important for the outcome of this game. If they are to win, that's the play that did it.
They're going to finish Roshan. RP's down, so they're feeling confident about this.
And I think VICI are going to let them have it. They can't.
Oh, watch fade, watch fade, watch fade. He wants to jump in, and okay, no, don't stop watching fade. They're not going to happen anymore.
I stopped watching Fade a moment ago. Right.
Okay, maybe we should start watching him again. He may actually go down. Overstaying is welcome. The Ice Blast comes in. He'll shut with a Virus Strike from Cuckoo. They keep the control up. And Fade dead for a very long time. He committed the buyback before, so TNC, the fresh take in hand, they're going to push down mid.
Yep. ORP for 60 seconds. And that's the big teamfight tool that they have to be scared of when they're playing VICI Gaming. But now that it's not available, sure, there's this strong Jugger, but he doesn't have Empower. Empower is dead, RP is dead. They might just choose to go high ground with this. It's not going to be that easy, but it's easily the best opportunity they've had all game to something big.
They need some good wave clear now, VG Gaming. And it looks like TNC, they're not going to push the issue. They're coming back. They're looking towards the jungle. The Juggernaut's already grabbed the bottom lane. It's going to push out with his Manta units.
Man, I would have loved to see them go high ground there. I think this is a missed opportunity. I don't think it's going to get much easier than this. You have this Aegis for 5 minutes. You can start poking this tower, see what you can get out of it while Empower is not there. Now instead, you're going to be facing VICI Gaming at more than likely full force when it happens again. I reckon they will be smoking for the Bounty Rune fight, potentially if there is a smoke available. There is one on DY. He's not pulling it out, though, just yet.
No, he's spending his time taunting in front of the tier 3 tower with Paparazzi. Just like, okay, guys, let's get back into this. They're actually pinging out where they believe the observer board is, and they're actually 100% right. The sentry is in range, but someone needs to actually cut through the tree before they'll see it. But don't worry, that's why DY's got a Quelling Blade. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Wow, it's actually going to stay there. All right. And that's 4 runes for TNC as well.
Tim's grabs the top one. Hex put to work with Laguna Blade. Ice Blast flying forward. Ori moves away. But the money starts rolling in. Not that much. We're still changing the graph around. It's about 12,500 be the net worth going the way of TNC. It's back to around 7.5K.
It's back
the
to
experience is swinging up. So it's empty kick. Yeah, it is. The graph is not keeping up with the board above.
And the win expectancy went from clearly in VICI Gaming's favor to actually slightly favoring TNC now all of a sudden. Big loss from VICI Gaming in the last 5 minutes.
Still feels like VG have a lot to work with, though.
They do, absolutely.
Because they just reset and start this all over again. You've lost a little bit of map control, but you've got everything you need for a team fight.
You do, but if this Roshan situation doesn't happen, you've got the game completely under control. And instead, you open up an opportunity for TNC to get a couple of kills and an Aegis, and suddenly they now, it's not just, you know, they're getting powers because of this. They got mid-tier 2, they're getting the top tier 2 when everything was on lock. The map is going to feel open. And there's, right now it feels like there's a lot of pressure on Fade on his Magnus this game. He's super good on this hero, but if you're playing against world-class teams, it can be difficult to find that great RP. It doesn't have to be multiple heroes necessarily, but it needs to find the right guy that can connect the Jugger to kill with Omnislash and snowball the fight from there.
Man, Tims, you're living life on the edge when you go and do that. He just, oh, T1, Fade. Can't get close enough to him. They knew he was up. Freeze. He avalanched the Juggernaut underneath the tier 3 tower. Blinks, 4-star TPs, and only barely gets out. But you're definitely seeing like that kind of play. That's confidence there from TNC. That's them looking to have Tims jump in and not even just try and find something now, but always make VG Gaming look behind them.
Yep.
Play the erratic style of Dota that TNC is able to crush teams with.
So what big... Oh, they saw smoke. They never dewarded the ward, and they actually smoked at this exact spot. TNC know it's coming. This would be huge for them. They can bait the Lifestealer with the Aegis in front.
Where do you fight? Where do they want to be?
On their own high ground. If they run into Lifestealer, he can just straight run into them and start this fight.
It seems like a very odd place to throw down a sandstorm, though, because if VG Gaming see that, it's like, this tornado does not look natural.
Alina does have the Scythe to open with, and they do have the BKB on Enchantress as well, so these new toys for VICI Gaming can become very useful. Also, BKB on Jugger, 10 seconds on him. They don't find any opening.
No, but they did see the Kobold Soldier moving around, which kind of told them that TNC was up near the shrine, or at least one player was. So they were a little bit more cautious about moving forward. So just leave 2 observer wards behind. But yeah, man, they really need to find that. The Observer was like, it's 1 minute and 42 seconds away from full duration, but it has definitely done its job. Now TNC can look to fight on their own terms.
Well,
Live for the first time as well has actually cracked the top 3, the top 2 in net worth position. I say that as Ori just gets a little bit more farm. But like,
but yeah, he's caught up, right?
Yeah.
That's...
You're keeping up with the Magnus powered lineup. Obviously, Ori doesn't get anywhere near as much from it.
Aegis down.
Yep. Did it at the time.
And this mid lane is being a bit annoying for VICI Gaming. We'll have to deal with it. They're actually going to TP back the Magnus, just on retreat. We're not going to push out any more than this. We got it across the river and a little bit further than bottom. Time to take care of the lanes. Stabilize again so we don't get caught. And just farm the triangle as well with Juggo every minute when it respawns.
It feels like a lot of safety.
Yeah.
Only a couple of ago when TNC actually came to the playoffs at TI and started just toppling down teams because they thought, okay, yeah, we'll just keep fighting in them. We'll fuel the beast. And VG understand, they just got to change the tempo up. Like BHA was saying, like as long as you control up the map area, you'll forever scale with this empower buff up.
Yeah.
But when do you reach the limit? When does Paparazzi get a point where it's like, okay, I cannot go anymore?
Well, it's not only Paparazzi, right? It's not the classic way of thinking about Magnus and power with these other two heroes, but both Enchantress and Lina are actually doing. Lina went for a physical build. Went this hybrid where he started with the Yules and Shadowblade, and now he's transitioning Fiery Soul Stack talent, Attack Rich talent, health, so he's more sustainable in the... And now he's going Daedalus. Oh, you empower this guy, he's going to hit like a truck as well. And that's the kind of hero that Lifestealer doesn't like to face in late game. It's one that has massive range, can hit him from anywhere he wants, and actually force him out of the fight during rage. That is the worst case for him. And another smoke. Man, these smokes just seem to not be working in their game. Like, nobody is finding anything. They're trying, but VICI are on the exact opposite side of the map.
And the only ones from VG or even in a position where you could have gone was Ori, who was under the cover of Shadow and has a Gem of True Sight. So,
yeah.
like, how does TNC smoke when they can't even keep the vision game up? So I like it from VG's warning. What do? They control up the bottom half, literally the bottom half of the S side. Like a little early wall detection plus anything that comes near the trading camp, and then a very, very defensive ward on the hillside, watching the mid, making sure there's no gank in the lane. Everything else, they're just leaving to TNC.
It's sort of like roughly 50-50 up the map.
Yeah.
So not really too much advantage going either way.
But no one has vision. Linked up there. he'll force stuff down.
Ori's fast. Ori's real fast.
5 seconds. Here's the Yule Scepter up and towards the air. Light Trigger connects.
Nice.
And we'll see just how tanky Tim's can be. Support strike from Paparazzi. Death Ward also being committed. And Tim's protected by the Ghost Scepter, but that amplifies up from Lagoon from Ori.
Leave the game.
Radiant's middle tower.
He'll leave it for 100 seconds. TNC. Okay, so you just lost one. What's your reaction? All right, let's group up and try and fight. Cuckoo's ready in the tree lines. Fade, he's going to walk into them, the sentry ward. Okay, no, blink into the lane instead. Fade has dust available, so if he wants to jump, he can.
Enchantress is far away, though, and they're not really interested in fighting without her. So what they will accomplish is exactly what's being drawn by teams right now. This is where they are. They own this part of the map. We need to start pushing out the bottom side, so they're starting to rotate all their heroes bottom. And in the meantime, Paparazzi and Ori will start pushing out mid with the hope of getting the mid-tier 2 tower and protect Roshan, which is currently being ice blasted.
He's 1 minute away from spawning. But VICI Gaming, well, no, it's going to defend mid. They'll take the tier 2 tower. Seems easy enough. Paparazzi claims the last hit. Sure, on bottom lane, we'll be able to reach the tier 1 tower on bottom lane. That's actually not taking a single point of damage. VG Gaming's off lane tower. Tim's fire strikes forward. Lifestealer being very patient. That's Paparazzi. Just fortification actually gets wasted. There's no real creep wave with them. It just burn it. It does help the push on bottom lane a little bit, but that's it.
I think the backdoor protection was not kicking in at all. They had a creep wave before. But maybe Paparazzi would have been scared to continue going. I think the glyph was what made him back off. But you have to scare him away somehow.
VG still want to try and fight. This great observer ward and send you down. There's just no way. that TNC can surprise them by moving up. In fact, right now, Cuckoo playing around that exact vision. They all stepped up. The timing. This is not good for VICI Gaming. I think a burst strike turn around to the back line. Then Anderson dead. Witch Doctor already dead. The next time, TP out from Fate. No, we can't do it. There's a Yosef from Queen and Pain. That'll cancel that one out. So Mag will try and run with the bash from Juggernaut. Can't TP out. Not with the spin. Burst strike won't even catching Ori. Then with another double stun. And just back to back to back stunning. Paparazzi. He'll go up in the air once again. Is there a follow-up connector? There's another bash out from Gabby. He just keeps letting it rip and snip. Burst strikes forward. What else sneak up? There's a sonic wave from Armel. Bringing down Paparazzi, in which it'll be a tie back for DY. Cuckoo's not done yet. He burrow strikes forward. He cannot connect on the leader. One small mistake from VG Gaming and TNC pounds the Tigers they are.
Ooh, that RP token, that was not good. That was not good from Fade. He wanted to catch the Sand King before the Yule, but they mid-timed it completely. I'm sure we're going to get a replay of this. But
I'm sure we will. This is Roshan's going to go down to
that is
TNC.
worst case scenario. You want to RP the Lifestealer so you can only slash him. Instead, he tries to RP the Sand King. It misses. We're going to see it here. So just wait, was that even his own Yule? I think it was, and not the Lena's, hopefully. But,
it was the best case.
Unlucky on the Omni Slash. If he keeps continuing on the Lifestealer with that, maybe he can even kill him off. And then the bash too. Everything aligning for Gabby. He didn't have the MKB. He could have easily hit and made some more attacks on the butterfly, but they get the bash and they get the good Omni Slash RNG, and all of a sudden, TNC are in the lead.
And look what they do instantly too. Invest the Lifestealer into Cuckoo. He'll beat him to the bottom lane. Want to start taking some of these towers. The Ice Blast is checking the tree line, so Gabby, he's just got a little bit of extra cover. Don't have a Tinker Ward, use an Ice Blast. They want to remove all these outer towers. And to think like VG Gaming's early pressure, they're going to be the first team to actually lose all outer towers. TNC still hold their tier 2 tower on top lane.
Yep.
I'm liking this item pickup. Aeon Disc from Enchantress. Because she seems to just be going and just blasted. Not even answer EKB.
You need to find a way for Lena to start the fight, I think. You can't rely on the RP, and you can't really rely on, that's the limitation of Lena that we've talked about. Is that you don't have very much in the way of catch. Lena has the Hex, so you need to fight in vision, start with the Hex, follow up, and when TNC respond, that's when you can get that big RP. For now, TNC still seem unable to push high ground, but they make so much ground in terms of the economy.
Oh yeah, we've moved from a 13,000 to now a 7,000-8,000 advantage for TNC, but the experience grant swings 5 grand. It's looking good for TNC, but can they still hold it? There's still a chance that VICI Gaming, obviously they're a world-class team. If they just get one good fight, we can swing back the other one.
It's a max team. You closely at any point. You need to non-stop watch the positioning of your cores. Unless Fade sets you up for success, then you don't need to watch for it. So he has to be a little bit more patient. Just don't jump for these reckless RP. Even if he lands that in the Sand King and they kill him, he could just buy back and TP on his shrine, and you don't have an RP for that fight. So no matter how you look at it, that is not the way you approach this fight.
Ice Blast coming in. Paparazzi control. Power Strike's already connected. Quick force stop. As Paparazzi further away, he's able to get to the spin, but Fade, he had to sacrifice himself. That's also the gem of truth. Being lost from VG without the buyback available. Paparazzi will move up, but Yang also stop back inside the base. No RP available. DKB burnt on the Juggernaut. Watch that buyback marker. 3 of them are red for VG Gaming because 3 of them are all on cooldown. But it's the 2 bigger cores from VG that have that second life.
Big heads-up play from Arnold. The moment he went on that guy, he jumped and silenced the Magnus.
And Yang's spending so much mana just to get this little harassment damage into Gabby. They'll pick him up. Protection is there from Aeon. And yeah. But hey, remember, he's still got the Aegis model, so he's fine to tank it.
Yep. VG are doing everything they can to buy time. Even sending down a converted Lifestealer Illusion down the mid lane. And that will actually force Cuckoo back. He has travels though.
Yeah, he can come straight back again.
But he's buying that time. Every second right now, it's about getting Magnus up and alive. You've lost so much damage when this guy is dead. Empowers for Jugger, Empower for Ench, Empower for Lena, and that RP. It's very, very important.
Fine for Paparazzi to finish. Refresher Orb just sitting in the backpack for the moment. He needs everything to fight, but I think he also understands, like, Juggernaut's really fall off once they've already burned the Omni Slash.
Yeah.
Now he's able to have it twice, as well as the BKB twice.
I think he's going to activate his Omni Slash, and then he's going to swap it in for phase boots, and then refresh and go for it again, or swap it in. I've got to swap it in for phase.
Yeah.
Any of the other items.
I mean, he needs everything else.
Jang, there's your jump. Nice blast is coming in towards the Enchantress. The fourth stuff will get a passing. Already the spin. Armel did pretty skip. He's also flashed up, stunned up, maybe a little too deep. Armel is down. He never even was quick as a cheese. That's so wrong. Gabby with the creative play. The RP from Rain. And on comes down the double light spike for Rain. Stunned up for days. And TNC 2D. Gabby trying to run back up the hill. Fade won't stay with him. And he actually infested. He blinks up to the side. Tim's. How many times can he be the get out jail free card underneath the tire of Overwood? He's sitting here. Back in the paparazzi, back in the fight. You'll end up losing back once again. But he's the sacrificial lamb. Ori's moved in with his own hex, controlling Tim's on the sidelines. And finish one then the other. Or Gabby could just go full Artur, trying to actually get more kills. He picked up the support. Now they're going to focus on him. Tim ready for his own combination. He'll jump in for the three match. Gabby wants to fight. The Youngest making different to find kills. Ori protected by the big game. Gabby gets the bash. Still trying to fight this one out. Has the damage with the bash on Yang. Gabby wants to be the real model. They'll turn back over to Tim's. VICI Gaming. They just decide they want to kill. The TP out from Lifesteal will be successful at 400 HP. Tim's, can he get out as well? Back past the creep wave. They can't reach him. They're away.
How many Lifesteal moments do we need in this tournament? I mean, sure doesn't get but they kited. That was like a 30, 40 second kiting. And they both get out alive. Beautifully done by TNC, apart from the part where they dove the base and went too deep.
That face stroke Gabby, yeah!
But the end of it was cool, so...
Oh...
Bounty rune time.
You know, this game started off looking like it could be a very one-sided affair for VICI Gaming, but they go again. But Gabby is there. He'll get the hit. The defensive blade's done. Plus the follow-up. Ice blast. Oh, the Yorceptor will kick in, but straight back down again to death.
The confidence from TNC to send these heroes up there. They're playing 3-on-5 now in that situation. If there were more heroes from VICI Gaming, that could have been a travesty. They could have just died, both of them. But they took the risks. They gave the rune and a kill. And it's a big series, the lead. Dead for 80 seconds. This is a bit of a moment of opportunity. No Roshan, of course, but you can at least re-establish map control.
You still have Juggernaut forcing out the lanes. And Paparazzi is still the biggest hero on the map. Gabby is definitely getting good. We're actually seeing this whole little chase again, but you are getting the display timing around for the Juggernaut. He doesn't have enough of a surplus to buy the entire thing. The other damage is also arriving. The Daedalus is now done. Ori, it felt like an age ago that he started to build into this. But at least it's done. He decided to get the control with the Hex first.
There's more than enough damage on VICI Gaming's lineup. It's about if they can keep heroes in place and kill them. The lifesteal is a problem. It's kiting them. There's Force Staff, there's Yules, there's...
So why you're seeing Magnus building into a refresher orb as well?
Yeah, that's vicious.
I just need a second RP, but that's a lot of money.
You don't need the second one, you just need the first one. Just hit it.
If you don't succeed.
Just do it, dude. Just RP them. Easier said than done.
Yeah, that sounds like your pub games.
Yeah. Why don't you RP the whole team? But absolutely, Fate. This has not been Fate's best game, though. To be fair, he's had some questionable decisions, and it's also in part been because they consider him a save in the sense that Jugger will go in front. They're going to turn him around and force him away, and then, well, guess what? Fate just gets blink orchided by Quap and killed off. It happened 2 or 3 times. Whenever Mag gets caught by the Queen, it's a huge play. Can see, and I think it should be itemizing for that situation. I think getting a Yule Scepter in this game would be very, very useful.
Yeah.
But he doesn't seem to be planning for it. He's going for the big item that's just so far away.
It's kind of hoping the TNC is just going to directly into them.
Fire.
But VICI Gaming, yeah, they're looking for a big fight if they can claim one. But with the Nullifier and Lifesteal, someone may be disabled. But Yang's bringing an Aghanim Scepter into this fight. We're able to get the range, the Hex off. They need to get this quick kill over on Cuckoo. He's been such a problem for them with the Blink Skewer back. They have him dead for 100 seconds. Roshan will respawn in 1 minute and 15 seconds. The next timing to watch, but you still need to get control of the lanes. TNC, they're pushed out top, they're pushed out bottom.
And they're infested.
Well, there she Of course, you're one player down. What do you do with your TNC? Let's go and fight. Do they use any major abilities? No. Does that matter? No. I think the surplus is almost enough for the Juggernaut to buy the Abyssal Blade. Feels like Paparazzi kind of needs that. So much space is being created by Gabby just by getting this initial jump in with Burst Strike, the perfectly timed Abyssal Blade, and then he's even getting bashes on top of this. Just because that insane attack speed he's able to achieve.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure about Ori going for this MKB instead of maybe a Lincoln Sphere. For that exact reason, like you get Link stopped and you die in the fight. That's just the life of late game. You're not a tanky enough hero. Or Tim's.
No, he's just sitting there and
He's trying
to play it out. How much damage have you got, Ori? Putting it to the tents from inside the trees, even a little bit more. Goes in will protect. The rest of VICI around Roshan, but Ori's just going to do the solo. Tim's is down.
Very nicely done.
And Roshan spawning in 3 seconds time.
I think that was actually a perfect kill. I don't think we could have done anything better.
Look at this from VG. They know Yang's the one that could be protected thanks to his Aeon Disc. They'll get rid of that TNC around Roshan. And they're actually going for more. They're coming over. 4-star Finn at long range damage, but that's why Glimmer level of protect is available, but he comes in range with the jab. That Aghanim buff up with Empower. And yeah, just
impetus talent, damage talent, Empower, the 2 range items. He 3-shot the AA.
Now they go for Roshan. No, Ori wants to finish that top tier 2 tower with Paparazzi. The creep will probably do it for them. They're coming back over. They want Roshan still. And the creep actually doesn't do it. You've got Cuckoo and now Mel. They have an infested lifestealer inside of Cuckoo. With Geometru's, what have we got? There's an observer to the north. There isn't a sentry, however, but Roshan's dying so quickly. If they don't jump now, they can never jump with Cuckoo. Keep for the moment. Go now. It's already too late. Aegis Immortal is taken. The cheese is up as well. Refresher shot grabbed by the Enchantress. She won't want to keep that. That goes to the Magnus. That's how you get 2 RP. Not by Refresher Orb. And he lines up the Shadow Blade instantly too.
That's how Fate was communicating with his team. He was like, I need this item. We need the 3rd Roche. My quick buy. If we don't get the 3rd Roche, guys, you know what I'm buying.
It's like, I can't buy a Refresher Orb, guys. I'm too broke.
Yeah.
That Observer and Sentry needs to get... Well, okay, well, they'll drop the Sentry anyway. A little bit forward. Yeah, you see the Obs, guys.
This Enchantress is starting to be a really big problem now. Since they can't talk...
Catching out Ori.
That's a freebie.
Yeah, that's the Aegis Immortal gone. Infest Cuckoo, get me out here. I need an evacuation chopper right now.
Kill. Very nice.
Yeah, that's really going to put dampener in the sails of VG Gaming.
Again.
Again.
Feels like every time in the last 30 minutes, they have a huge advantage.
Ori. He's so close to all of TNC just after what happened. The Lincoln Sphere will break. But they don't get the opportunity. Just so short the LP. With the other spot. It's getting beat. It's that line. Cuckoo yells him up. Stun him up. Light Striker Ray. Oh, get the following stun. Even if Cuckoo does change the position, Laguna Blade is out. Cuckoo is down. The Gem of True Sight has been dropped. And VG are looking to fight once more. Down through the mid. The wind dropped from the sails, but I'm thinking they're blowing strong again.
He used the refresher. He is super ready to go. The call's been made. We're going to fight them again. Jugger, however, did not swap in his refresher orbs, so doesn't have Omnislash ready in this RP.
No, but he's still got his BKB, and that's what he's probably thinking about.
Yep.
If he uses already, he won't have the second immunity. First buyback comes in. Gonna beat the SK. Paparazzi stays on the front lines. Will give him protection. Ice Blast will arrive to Tiny. The BKB from Paparazzi gives him the protection of keep walking. Oh, it's good. 2-man RP. We'll try. Goretek protecting Tiff at the moment. It's over real clear. You got Fire it on. VG Gaming. 3 planes down and about to be 4. Yang has no way to escape. And VG Gaming, they thought they could push. They took a tier 3 tap, but that's all they will take. And in fact, they'll have to accept their buff. TNC are looking for a push back the other way.
That is a perfect combo from TNC, but man, 3-man RP, you don't have Omnislash? He had it in backpack, the refresher, he swaps it in, he refreshes, and then the fight is lost. If he has Omnislash in that RP, I think VICI Gaming get 2 or 3 core kills. Instead now they're back with their backs against the wall.
2 buybacks, but Gabby comes high ground.
That's just some, I don't know, it feels like miscommunication, right? Fate is like, we're going to go for this. We're going to go, I'm using refresher, we're taking this fight. Paparazzi's like, okay, I don't want to refresher my ulti. So if you get a great ulti, I mean, let's see if we can kill them all. And guess what? They couldn't. They needed an Omni Slash in the fight badly. And the combo from TNC was just sick too. You have to be very careful as VICI Gaming to fight into any high ground on the map, just because of how much of a sudden burst is just going to come out of nowhere. Epicenter with Veil, Tiny combo, Ice Blast, Sonic Wave.
See what Tiny's going for as well? He's got Octarine Call lined up with 9.2k in the bank.
You should really buy it.
Yeah, he really...
1,000 gold on this support.
Just give cheese over to somebody else.
Hello?
Yes.
Buy your item?
It's 3.4k.
Why stop buying it? You're standing on the high ground.
It's a very good question. But,
okay, he wants to kill the wave. Now he's going to buy it. Surely. Surely now he's buying it. Okay, wait a second.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wait, no. Yes? No. Hang on. Meanwhile, back at the mid-fight.
Hey, your entire item is this
like
dude,
we
you
could
just
be
walk
watching
next to sell us all the stuff you need.
We could be watching the double P, but instead we're just watching the small screen at the bottom. But that Sonic Wave, that was sweet.
Perfect combo.
Combo that TNC was looking for. The hilarious thing is, too, like, VICI need cluster for that to happen. A retreat down mid lane, that's what happens. You're still just watching him with almost 8k gold on himself now.
I'm striking. I'm not casting until he buys an item. Come on, dude.
Sorry. Welcome to Cinder and Airlines, where you not get flown.
10,000 gold, buy an item. I'm getting triggered.
Good observer sentry, Yang. Trying to get rid of it. They're coming out with a gem. They get rid of the sentry to begin with, but now Blink. Into the rear. There's a huge kill that's been claiming him, and they've got him. Juggernaut is down. Buyback is available. He's having a hard time walking away. The cold feet slowing him up. Tim's going in once again. He won't kill you with that much. He'll kill you with 10,000 gold.
Maybe he thinks he does more damage the more gold he has.
What is this, gambler?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, that was his ability, right?
He had something that was the whole hero was built around gold.
It's called Gambler.
Oh, okay, he changed his mind. Now he wants to not buy an Aghanims. Yep, indeed. He's just going to walk past the ship. Okay.
Oh, James, get something, please. Buy a moonshot for somebody else.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Gabby will take a moonshot.
He has 9,000 surplus. The explanation has to be he's really unsure what the best item is. He just can't decide what he wants.
Can we just we need to have a conference. The fate of TNC must be decided in a committee.
Okay, so let's think about it a second.
Yeah.
Maybe he's debating if he should go be another core in the game, because he has so much gold that he can actually go axe Daedalus, for example, and do massive physical damage into the Jugger. Because he was hovering the Octarine, and he was like, maybe this is a better way of doing. Okay, he's gonna buy the axe.
Okay.
And Daedalus.
That's because Ancient Apparition has already bought his Aghanim Scepter, so he's waiting for the big surprise combination.
He was waiting to have the gold for everything at once. Yes. He checked, okay. He pulled out his calculator. It's like, what is... I don't remember how much expensive these items are. Plus
a surplus of 900 gold. All part of the plan. This is why you don't question a pro player.
He was hovering an Octarine core for like 3 minutes.
Okay, that's why you question a pro player.
But yeah, okay, Tim's is dangerous.
Okay, back to the focus.
So much damage now.
Tim's does a crap ton. He doesn't have a Faceless Void to combo with, but that's fine. We're 62 minutes into this game. VICI game, you're just trying to keep their lanes pushed out. TNC are doing a very good job of keeping them down. Maybe not exactly where Fade wants to be, but he's checking hillsides with the gem.
TNC ended up not pushing with the Jugger kill too. They actually didn't force a buyback. So Paparazzi gets to have this buyback in the defense.
Yeah, that's a good board to keep up. How many buybacks do you have available? You've still got another 3 minutes to count down for a lot of the VICI gaming players. But the same thing can be for the Lifestealer. He's dead for a while. But they're coming out, VICI. They're on a ward mission. Either that, they're on a rune mission, but I hate to tell you, it's been taken. There's no double damage for you. Roshan may respawn in 15 seconds. But they've come out. They're not under the cover of smoke. They're not under any observer walls. In fact, they're just putting down Roche wards. That's what they're preparing for. But Infest into Cuckoo. Is it go time once more? The Radiant scan hits perfectly on VICI Gaming. And they're actually crossing over even further out.
So what VICI are doing is they're leaving the Luna in base, who has Boots of Travel level 2 and buyback. So worst case scenario, she gets jumped and killed, but she has the buyout. Best case scenario, this squad that they've sent out on a mission will find something that will make them teleport to.
There's the jump forward. Well off target. Now it's our Malfort. He has to PKB and blink himself away to safety. Yang's looking for the target. All colors of the rainbow. Going over towards Gavin, dropping him down by half life. But they got more. Blast, that's coming in a little late. Just don't trigger that one. Actually, no, all the way back fountain. Information given. So SKBT's at the bottom lane. Again, TNC just turned into a side lane push, but Roshan spawned really early. So he's already available for everybody. And this guy comes with everything. He's the supersize me Roshan. Refresher shard, Aghanim, Scepter upgrade, Aegis, and cheese. He comes with everything. I feel like it's a McDonald's menu.
Well, gotta put it in order.
Well, paparazzi, order up. Goes in for Roshan.
Oh, TNC cannot let this happen. There's no way they let this happen.
They're so quick about it. The Dire are scanning. Picture Ice Blast. This will scan out what's happening. Roshan, he's taking a while to kill off. TPs are coming over. Cuckoo's already there. He's already got a friend inside. And now he'll walk out underneath everybody. But where's the catch? Is the Hex already over Narmel down the lane? The Shadow Blade from Fade. He wants the jump. He bought this item just for this to hit that 1 RP.
So Free managed to get the Hex off, but 4-step Glimmer Cape easily saves the Queen of Pain. And we're back to Sandstorm.
It's on Blink Fire. Right. Catches 2 with the invest pop-up. Forever keeps the thing going. Who can they kill? Magnus is low. He cannot be low. He's still up here right now, but he's muted. Silenced up. 2 heroes down without the buyback. Armel's battling from the high ground, giving the information line to level 4. However, sorry, he's just trying to be the Lena cannon up on the hill. Run away to bounce. No, but the jump on. Goes 10 back in once again with a double stun. The BKB protecting Yang, and now Ed down. Buyback. They just want to keep this fight going. 10 VICI Gaming, however, do not have buyback on two of theirs, but Roshan, he's not looking at many of his wounds.
Why are all of VICI Gaming's best team fights when Magnus dies without RPing? And all of the worst ones are when they RP. I don't understand, Sophie.
They perform under pressure.
Fade, die, and then we'll clean up after you. I mean, of course, the thing is, they do commit a lot of cooldowns, right? They put themselves in a pretty bad position to kill off this Magnus. They use Rage, they use Sonic Wave, and they use PKBs. So, of course, there's a little bit of logic to the madness, but these fights are so unpredictable right now.
The BT game. Ori also just consumed an Aghanim Scepter, so they're not even that confident they're able to grab this.
They're not getting it, though.
No, they're backing up. They're doing too much of the damage to TNC. Here's your buyback out from Wave Doctor. Where's the initiation? The tree volley arrives, but, well, that's a wide volley. It just runs up. He's still on cooldown. Same for Paparazzi, both stunned up by the avalanche. Healing ward down. Paparazzi doesn't have a lot of mana. In fact, can't even spin and Omni Slash. And now Roshan may even die to volley, and the buyback comes in from SK. VG, they still don't have the RP Magnus alive.
They got what they came for. They forced 3 buyback to defend this Roshan. Tiny, Lifestealer, and Sand King.
And the Creepways are pushing it through mid as well as bottom.
Yep.
So their presence, or their lack of in the lanes, has definitely been noted. Is someone going to finally grab this True Sight? It's just been sitting above Roshan forever. Tree tossing out, Life Dealers inside the pit, Juggernaut at all. That's a lot of damage you can get in. Yang throwing out the hits, and maybe now, well, you've actually got the bash out. They're going to get the kill on Paparazzi. He'll fight back, but Roshan's already been claimed. Gabby's going to grab absolutely everything off the field at the moment. The Aghanim's consumable actually went into the Sand King. Now he's got the extra range. DY looks like he's still got the cheese from before.
All they have to use for that TNT was the cheese on Tiny. That was the only thing they lost. And they take a big win. Paparazzi, I think, mashing his BKB to use it out of spin. And Queen of Pain was mashing her Hex. I said, who does it first? And the co-op gets the Hex off. Very, very big in that moment.
Oh boy, 67 minutes. We may be testing the limits of what is the longest game in TI at this rate, but we'll have to crack an hour and a half. to change those compendium predictions.
This game is not even close to over.
No.
Sure, this Jugger buys back after this, but...
Even if TNC take a lane of racks...
There are plenty of buybacks at TNC that are down. They've used 3 buybacks themselves to get this Aegis, so they're not safe either. They're not in the clear at all.
Nope. It's VICI who want to fight. RP is up. Who's going to walk into it? Die gets scanned, and Mana Sanking. That'll be a huge jump. Lifesteal's inside of him. Armel's right next to him too, but VICI, they don't have the information. There's a Radiant Observer Ward that's watching that movement down, playing under their own vision, TNC.
I don't think they had the cat either. Luna was unable to get in. She doesn't have Shadow Blade anymore. So has to get in and hex by just running up the hill. She does have buyback, so she can take a risk like that, but...
Kuku's going for the tier 3 tower. Lifesteal can just pop out. Fortifications unavailable for VICI Gaming for the moment. Make this default.
Instant defense again.
Yeah. That means TNC, without that fortification being available, can now push. Get one step out of my own brain.
Ori is exposing himself in mid. Not really.
Jump. Ori, they've actually with the Hex. That Aghanim stepped up. Ori does so much damage. Queen of Pain brought down for the shockwave.
Has buyback.
Glad she does. How many of these can you keep burning? If she burns hers, 4 players from TNC will be down. The Courier's going to get sniped out. But why not? While Tiny actually triggered up. Fire Strike comes in from Gabby. That RP, he waited. He'll catch out too. They both jumped away from the ice boss. They saw it coming in. DY will consume the cheese, giving his life back again. Ori trying to pump through the back ancient apparition. Still didn't have enough damage to work with. However, but Gabby now takes all the colors of the rainbow. We're playing Skittle Enchantress, trying to kill off Gabby. He'll invest into Kuku. They chase the target. I'm just protecting Kuku when they get turned, kill off Queen of Tims. He goes into the back line, finding DY, gets the avalanche toss. We've already got the playback. Queen of Pain ready to fight it once more. As you've got the Tiny, can't reach anything. He's cleaning up the creep wave and keeping Gabby stunned. VICI Gaming, full retreat back inside the base. They do not have RP. The biggest thing the TNC's been scared of, but the best thing VG fight without.
VG should be favored in coming play.
You wouldn't think it though. Queen of Pain's dead for so long. Like if she dies once more, and this will be all the space they need.
They get all the bounties on TNC. This is 7-minute bounty runes. These are worth about 1,000 gold each.
What is it? It's yeah, 108.
900 gold per bounty rune. So 3.6k gold just picked up. How nice?
Yeah, sure.
But again, they can't high ground it looks like. So you traded up buybacks, Queen of Pain for the Lina. And your Aegis is going to probably just expire at this rate before you go high ground. And the RP will come off cooldown again.
I actually wonder how many Aegis you had that have actually been burnt. I think we have the one, which was on Ori on the bottom lane.
I think one only.
And that's it. Every other one has timed out, and we've gone through 4 Roshans. And there'll be another. Don't you worry. Mel's looking to be the carrier of Lifestealer for the moment. It is kind of stupid when you reach that point where Lifestealer's like, yeah, I'm not going to pop out of you. There's nothing for me to really farm to advance myself any further forward. Actually, he still can. He's just got to swap the Radiance in and Rune Shard. That's it. But he's got a Bloodthorn.
Yeah, I think you go Bloodthorn instead of the Radiance. Because at this point, you Bloodthorn nullify somebody and you just blow them up with thanking. 100 to 0. You can even kill the Aeon Disc heroes if you're with the nullifier after the Aeon Disc procs. Although Ench will probably be mashing the crap out her BKB button.
I'm wondering if Ench actually commits her own buyback money, her surplus. She's got enough to buy the MKB and has a Moonshard to consume.
But buyback is the biggest resource in the whole game now. There's nothing more important than buyback. It's bigger than any item. It's bigger than Aegis Cheese. It's bigger than Refresher. Because what this is going to come down to eventually is either VICI Gaming will run out of their base and lose a fight, and if they don't have buybacks, it doesn't matter what items they have, or TNC are going to try to push and you're going to fight with your extra lives. It's a huge resource to have right now. And, well, there's very few people that have that resource. It's 2 heroes on each, and nobody ever getting buyback currently. There's been so many burnt.
AA is just
but AA is the only hero missing gold. Everybody else is cooldown.
Yep. So what to see, dude? Like, you just wait for next Roshan, and that's when everyone will fight. Also, keep in mind that the Aghanims was consumed on the SK. Like, There's still a refresher shard on the Queen of Pain, so double Sonic Waves, double Hexes, double Bloodthorn, Shivas, all kind of jazz.
Yep.
And she's got the cheese as well.
I wonder if we're going to hit this kind of moment. So sometimes complexity can be too much for you. Like, for example...
Are you meaning the team with Kyle?
No.
Or are you meaning what?
Oh, Kyle can be too much for you. That it's not completely related though. But when it comes to, for example, Shadow Demon, right? When you get level 25 in an X, you suddenly have 2 disruptions and 3 demonic purges, and you need to like look correctly in the fight. You want to use them effectively. You're reaching this point with Queen of Pain where if you overthink things and you want to play everything perfectly, you're going to extend and die. Like you don't have to use maybe every single item in the perfect way in the fight because you're going to overwhelm yourself. Analyzing and casting all of these abilities correctly is extremely difficult.
So
and
what you're asking for is a spray and pray
not
abilities.
necessarily. Just don't overthink it. Don't be like, okay, I have to BKB. I have to think in somebody while I'm BKB'd. Use Shiva, Orc, Bloodthorn, and Hex, all my spells, and then I can refresh and do it again. Because something is going to go awry. Like, there's going to be something that surprises you. Somebody gets force staffed, and your entire plan is gone. Like, just make sure you get 2 good Sonics off and 2 Hexes. I think that's the biggest thing. Maybe 2 BKBs. The Shiva, not important that you get 2 off. The Lincolns, you can refresh it if you absolutely have to. But apart from that, just, don't make it too complicated.
Oh, let's see how TNC do it. They're smoking up, so we may get the answer to the full complication. Juggernaut, the man in the front lines, they're protecting so hard. It's the Glimmercape from DY. Also, the only player who's not 25 right now is DY. Cuckoo wrapping around the back. VICI also smoking out. Roshan won't respawn for another 30 seconds at the earliest. Yang, he's the bait. The blue Burrow strike. Out they jump. Out the ghost rotation. Oh, a huge avalanche on the backline. Paparazzi bait instantly couldn't respond, but now they can. In towards him. Want to kill him off with the Sonic Wave. They're all pushed out of the ultimate of AN, but it won't matter when Pack's going to pop anyway. Buyback's coming thick and fast. All through and back up again. The Chandra sees the hill. She is just Lena with the hillside advantage. They'll move back up. Down from VG again. They find out Paparazzi on the back of the Omni side with the extra back. They just need a hold Cuckoo there, but they can't do it. Armel could only avoid it. He made a safety. Blink off cooldown 1 second time. Armel's feeling like they should already be there. Out of all of that, with the buyback that were committed, there's still only 2 heroes who are down for the count.
Finally had a team fight with 2 Omni Slashes. I think that's the first time in the game that they've managed to push it. Paparazzi gets Omni Slash off, the Magpie's back, gets an OP, and they have the second Omni ready to go. But somehow, TNC didn't lose more heroes in the second Omni Slash. Queen of Pain just barely got out of it with the blink.
Oh, Yang, the Fire Strike, he's going for the rune right now. He's actually going to beat Bloodthorn. How much control have they got? You're set for a riding fade. He may need help. Forked up. Yang's going to BKB. Mel blinks himself forward. Well, that's not complicated, but that's daring. They still want to go for more. In fact, delivery system right now. The blink Fire Strike. Cuckoo got 2. Combining with a Shadow Strike. They just fear the mob. Enchantress, Paparazzi. They're trying to BKB and get the hell out of here. Payback's not really developed for anyone apart from Paparazzi. Magnus, he's actually cold feeded up. Mel just hitting it down with the daggers. Juggernaut will fall. No life, no matter. 2 teammates, 3 players. VICI Gaming pushing up the daisies. TNC now they need to force the issue. They know the buybacks are on cooldown. They're going for the tier 4 towers. They're going to end this game right here, right now.
And it's all because VICI Gaming wants to get the bottom bounty rune. They're not that important anymore. Maybe held for another 10 minutes or more in their base. Who knows? But now they don't even get the chance. GG.
That's it. They just call it 76 minutes in for, well, an anticlimactic end. Over about but TNC, man, they felt like there was opening. They chased it. They looked so far behind in just the early. All for a bounty rune, all for greed. But TNC, man, they felt like there was opening. They chased it. They looked so far behind in just the early, like 20-25 minutes into this game. The probability didn't look good for them. The goal, the experience didn't look great. But a couple of great fights playing around VG Gaming, and TNC claimed game 1.
in this winners bracket quarterfinal.
I did not think they were going to come back into this game, but they managed. It was an absolutely crazy game.
Yeah, I want to see more, and we're going to get more. Game 2 soon. There it is then, game number 1 in series number 2. TNC Predator take the game in just over 75 minutes.